and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed. A little update for you. The lower house has just voted to extend so chance we go. We are going for a short commercial break, but stay locked on. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Welcome back.
After weeks of closure, the popular food spot, the Breakfast Shed, has reopened with 3 vendors serving meals to the public. Even though sales are still slow, vendors say things are starting to pick up. Electricity has been restored by TNTech, and discussions are pending with Boot and TNTech and Unicode, according to the attorney Kenneth Monroe Brown. The vendor had vacated the premises in September after receiving a demand letter for arrears owed to Unicode. Imagine this, vendors has left the property because of unpaid bills. So I mean, if you are renting from a spot, it is obvious you would pay the spot. Imagine when you cut, I believe is $1 million, and then TNTech bill up to $30,000 is just shameless. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, it is up and running, and we're going to see what will happen in the coming weeks. Still no compensation for family of LMCS divers. After millions spent from government to the attorneys, they still refuse to pay the deceased. Imagine that, $16 million have been paid to attorneys and the family. So these attorneys are rich. They got money to defend the company. But what about the individuals who was working for the company? It's sad, ain't it? It's sad. It really, really stinking sad. With the 4-year anniversary of a major diving tragedy at Paria Fuel Trading Company in Pointe-à-Pied facility approaching, the families of 3 of the 4 victims and the lone survivor, Christopher Budram, appears no closer to receiving compensation. It was understood that negligence lawsuits filed on behalf of Budram and the relatives of his deceased colleagues, Rishi Nagisa, against Paria and their former employees, Land and Marine Contracting Service Limited, LMCS, came up for hearing before Justice Christopher Suchand on Monday. During the hearing, Justice Christopher set deadlines for the filing evidence and submission in the case. While a trial date was not set, such is expected to be considered within the case. And when the case comes up for hearing on May 5th, 2026, Trinidad and Tobago, I want you all to understand 16 point something million has been spent already. Has been spent already. And not 1 cent for the divers. It's a shame on the company. You know why I'm saying that? Come on to me. You know why I'm saying that, Trinidad and Tobago? Millions of dollars are being spent to defend this company. And what has been given to the divers family? Stuart Young promised $1 million. $1 million TT for the family, while 16 plus million have already been spent to lawyers defending the company. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? It's sad. It's really, really sad. So I wonder now, those who are sitting in the company, how are they feeling to know millions of dollars are being paid to lawyer to defend the company? And 4 years up the road, not even the results. It's sad. So now we wonder why crime cannot done in Trinidad. Now we wonder this. So I wonder how those managers are feeling. How are they feeling to know millions are being spent on defending this company, but then again, it's not their money from their pocket. So they don't business. But the thing is, I wonder if they have children. So why can't some big manager decide to say, you know what? Enough is enough. 4 divers have died. Let's come to an agreement and let's give the family something. You could tell me $16+ million have been spent. Stuart Young promised $1 million to the family, and to date, 4 years up the road, nothing? Nothing? You know, it's sad how some people take things and just rock back, while some others would have taken matter into their own hands. That is the reality. Some people would rock back, and some people will take matters into their own hands. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, nevertheless, contacted yesterday Attorney Prakash Ramada confirmed that a similar case was not filed by his clients. Ramada said that he and his team were still locked in negotiation with Paria for a settlement to avoid costly and lengthy litigation. 4 years up the road. 4 years up the road, and Paria still negotiating. How much spent? Millions of dollars spent. They're still negotiating. They're still negotiating. So I wonder if some of these managers get a heart attack now. The company would run to spend money on that person. Yeah? Company will pay because, oh, he was a good manager, and he did, and he always on time, and he working late. I wonder if his son died. I wonder if his son died in a pipe. 4 years up the road, they're still negotiating. And if God take out all your heart, I wonder if your souls still value something. Big company. Millions paid to attorney, but nothing paid to the family. I'll tell you this, Thank God people like them don't cross me, I'm telling you, thank God people like them don't cross me, you know. Anyhow, God does know what He's doing, yes? Serious. God does know what they're doing. Prime Minister Kamala Persad has confirmed that the Steadily Park quarry now has a legal right to export product. This after she presented Tobago House of Assembly Chief Secretary Farley Augustine with a physical copy of license during a special sitting of the Assembly on Tuesday. Trinidad and Tobago, look at this.
I am happy that my government in just 6 months can deliver today something that you have long waited for. I am very happy in just under 6 months. I have a very special document for Chief Secretary Farley and all of you in the state. And this is something that will give you the means to make money. This will give you the means to earn foreign exchange. And therefore they can't say, poor boy Tobago come and begging poor girls apparel. No, no, no.
During her address to members of the Tobago House of Assembly at a special sitting, the Prime Minister acknowledged the importance of the document as a means for Tobago to generate foreign exchange. Here it is.
So I am so happy if you can make some more money for the people of Tobago and for Trinidad in foreign exchange as you use this export license to export, this export license to export. What is yours? The aggregate out of Steadily Park. If you were doing that all this time, you might have been richer than some other places, which will remain unnamed.
In response, Chief Secretary Farley Augustine thanked the PM and the government for making this a priority for the people of Tobago.
And I'm happy that I can display and show a copy of the export license for the Steadily Park Quarry, Steadily Park Enterprise Limited. Application made since 2022. And one will think, as we say in Tobago, that if you have a brother in the mango tree, you will eat. But sometimes you have to just depend on a stranger to give the kind gesture that your own will not give to you. On behalf of the people of Tobago, thank you very much.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, this license was supposed to be granted under the PNM, eh? Under the PNM. And it never materialized. It never happened. It never happened. So Kamala from Trinidad left and went to Tobago and presented them with the letter. Now, Dr. Rowley from Tobago knew about this, but never even presented it to them. Never. It's sad, you know. Tobagonians against Tobagonians, it makes no sense. But nevertheless, today now, the Tobago and the Tobagonians now have a license to export quarry product. Congratulations again to the people of Tobago. So what Dr. Rowley couldn't do as a Tobagonian, Kamala did it for the people of Tobago. I heard I was watching some videos on social media of people commenting in Tobago. Let me tell you something. I heard one or two live videos then when the thing was going on. You know, it's sad to know that Dr. Rowley lived in Tobago and never much up Tobago, really. It's sad, eh? It's sad. That's why Farley said your own would not want you to survive. And he's quite right. But nevertheless, viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll go straight to Gonzalez. I would love to hear this, but more when we return.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So viewers, remember Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit. The good thing about this fixed deposit is that you're getting your interest up front. So how does it work? So you have worked all your life, or you have gotten a lump sum of cash. You have it in a financial institution, but the thing is, you are not getting the valid amount of percentage rate that you think would benefit you. So we at Real Talk Financing, we are offering you 5% on a fixed deposit. Now, when you sign up a fixed deposit with us, within 14 days, our officer is going to call you to come and collect your interest. Now, that interest that you will be getting, it is for 5 years. All accumulated in one check. So you don't have to wait for 5 years for your fixed deposit to mature. Within 14 days time, you're going to get cash to go for a vacation, pay medical bills, pay down on a car. You don't have to wait that 5 years again, or 10 years. We're giving you in 14 days. Imagine that. That is what you call the proper investment, where your money works for you. So we move into Gonzales. Aruka Lopino, Marvin Gonzales have criticized Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar and Defense Minister Wayne Sturge, claiming they were silent despite public fears on October 31st over a U.S. military strike in the immediate region. Gonzales related the pandemonium of October 31st as a frightening population, traffic gridlocks, panic buying in groceries, and workers sent home early by employers. He said, this all came amidst international media reports of an imminent U.S. strike on Venezuela. So I want to ask Marvin, if if the US strike Venezuela, what does that have to do with us, Marvin? Did they strike Trinidad? No, they didn't. If the US strike Venezuela, they strike Venezuela, not Trinidad. But I realize you want to cause some kind of bacchanal and some kind of confusion so people would probably say words against the present Prime Minister. But nevertheless, we're going to leave you with that. Now, he said, all this came amidst international media reports. So, Marvin, I want to ask you a question. If international media reports say rice is running out in Venezuela, what we have to do in Trinidad? Buy rice and stock up. It's sad, Marvin. It's sad. You all causing bacchanal where there is no bacchanal. Now, Gonzalez said the opposition had used the standing order of the House of Representatives to pose an urgent question to Sturge, who declined to answer, citing national interest. Listen to Marvin.
As Opposition Chief Whip, I file a question to the Minister of Defense. The Minister, or rather the question was approved, and when it was placed to the Minister on the floor of the Parliament, not surprisingly, the Minister invoked Standing Order 27-1G, which is a standing order that prevents a minister from answering a parliamentary question. And whilst all of that was happening, Port of Spain was on standstill with gridlock traffic, persons rushing to their homes, children being sent home.
So now, Trinidad and Tobago. Further, Gonzalez said, when reporters questioned the PM about it, a heightened state, she had replied to stay calm. But Gonzalez said this was a serious matter. Listen to this.
This is a very serious matter. Because as of yesterday, the Minister of Defense, the Honorable Wayne Sturge, is reported to now telling the people of Trinidad and Tobago that the Prime Minister, as chair of the National Security Council and as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, was not aware that our defense force and members of the defense force were instructed to return to base immediately, and members of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service were placed on high alert. At a time when the country was in absolute panic, when there was fear driving through the hearts of every man and every woman and every...
So Marvin, the Prime Minister, Kamal Prasad Bisasa, then had an interview, went viral, and she said, stay calm. No need to worry. So the point you're trying to push is what? She not fit for office? She not fit to be the Minister of the National Security head? So let me just take you back to COVID, Marvin. You all remember when Dulcie Rodriguez came into Trinidad and Tobago on a private jet? Our borders were closed. You all remember when the media asked Dr. Rowley, who came on the plane? Dr. Rowley was the head of the National Security Council for Trinidad and Tobago. And he said he did not know. He did not know. So who gave clearance for the plane to come to Trinidad? Was it the Minister of National Security? So, if the Minister of National Security knew who was on the plane, why didn't they send the information to the Prime Minister, being the head of the Security Council for Trinidad and Tobago? You see, Trinidad and Tobago, we, as a people, we forget very quick. Very, very quickly. Even Marvin was once Minister of National Security, even Marvin. So the head of the Security Council, which was Dr. Rowley, back in the day when COVID attacked Trinidad and Tobago, he didn't know who came on the plane. I just want to remind Marvin that. So when Marvin decided to come after Kamala Prasad Bisasa, think about what happened under your ministry when you all were there. So be careful when you're asking your question, Marvin, because there are people who are going to put you on the spotlight. Remember that. That's where people like me comes in. To remind you, but hey, you all were there at one point in time. Dr. Rowley didn't know who came on the plane when planes were not authorized to come to Trinidad. Boats were not authorized to come to Trinidad. So who came on that plane? The then Prime Minister, Keith Rowley, said, I did not know. I don't know who come in the plane. But nevertheless, that's to remind you, Trinidad and Tobago. Call good night.
A very, very good evening to you, Mr. Said.
To you, my friend.
We have to understand one thing. For the next 5 years, this is how the opposition is going to behave.
Yes, quite right.
They're going to be bitter. They're going to be spreading propaganda. And that tabanka is a serious tabanka they have. That is one. And two, Marvin said that every man, woman, and child was scared. Marvin, I can recall giving you permission to speak on my behalf. And finally, Marvin also could stand back to eat macaroni pie and ham or all of it.
Thank you, my friend. Now, viewers, he said the PM was seemingly not in control of her cabinet. Gonzal is now calling for Sturge or Prasad Bisasa to resign over the incidents. Now listen to this.
The Prime Minister is not in control of her government. The Prime Minister is not in control of the security issues affecting the people of Trinidad and Tobago, or the Minister of Defense not updating the National Security Council and his Prime Minister on these very important matters. Either the Minister of Defense must be called upon to resign from office immediately, or the Prime Minister, if she cannot discharge her constitutional duties to protect the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and perhaps may not have been truthful when she said, if we were to take out her words, that she was not aware that members of the Defense Force were called out to duty and asked to return to base with immediate effect, then the Prime Minister would have failed in her responsibilities to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
So Marvin, again back to the COVID, why didn't the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, together with yourself, together with Fitzgerald Hines, why didn't you all resign? Because a plane landed in Trinidad, when the order was given, no boats, no plane, nothing of sort to come to Trinidad. The border were closed, the airspace were closed, but yet Marvin, the Minister of National Security back then, didn't know who come on the plane. The head of the Security Council for Trinidad and Tobago, which would have been Dr. Rowley at that time, didn't know who come on the plane. And the Prime Minister now, Dr. Keith Rowley, didn't know who come on the plane. So Marvin, why didn't you tell them people back then to resign? It's simple. It's that simple. But you see now, Marvin, the shoes is on the opposite side. Again, I would say that is why there are people like me to put you all on the spot. Remember COVID? So you want to come and say, no, the Prime Minister, Kamala Prasad Bisasa is not fit. Wayne Sturge is not fit. They should resign and go home. So why the hell you didn't resign back then? Why the hell the Prime Minister didn't resign Dr. Keith Rowley back then? As the Prime Minister, as the head of the Security Council for Trinidad and Tobago, why didn't you tell him to resign? Because a plane came to Trinidad when it's not supposed to, and nobody knew who was in the plane. You see, Trinidad, again I would say, we forget plenty. But nevertheless, Gonzalez said the PM must say if she is in a state to continue to head the National Security Council. You should have asked Dr. Rowley if he was in a state. How much bypass he have? Come on now, man, Marvin. Come on, Marvin. What good for the goose, good for the gander. What ain't good for the goose, ain't good for the gander. So Marvin, it's not no tic-tac-toe you're playing here. It's not a tic-tac-toe. It's not send your children or carry out your children one time for the month. It's not that anymore, Marvin. Kamala Persad-Bissessar said, and she said it to everyone in Trinidad and Tobago, I am not the old Kamala you all knew. I am a new Kamala Persad-Bissessar. So Marvin, whatever you do, or whatever you continue to do for the opposition chief whip, you will have to deal with that for 5 long years. And for the 5 years, Marvin, I will be right here to correct you. He also called on the PM to tell the population the status of the Southcom operation in the region against drug traffickers and human trafficking. So Marvin, I believe some lawyer yesterday sent a freedom of information demanding Kamala or demanding the Security Council release information from the CIA and the DEA. So, to this lawyer, I want you to understand something. You of all persons supposed to understand. You of all persons being a lawyer, supposed to understand how the CIA functions and how the DEA functions. So I believe that letter you sent to Kamala, you should have directed that letter to Donald Trump, not Kamala. Kamala didn't order strike in Venezuela. Kamala never said she ordered any strike. Who ordered the strike? And this is where we getting tied up with. Kamala didn't send the USS Marine in the ocean, you know. It came from the United States of America. I'll tell you this before I go for this break. Maduro cannot label Donald Trump. You know who is labeling? Kamala Persad-Bissessar. Where? Right next door. Where? In Trinidad. When Maduro went after Guyana, Saieed Ali, they went to the US. They got the information, they sort out the thing, they come back. You hear Venezuela attacking Guyana now? No, they're done with it. Who are they attacking? Trinidad. Who? The Prime Minister. Who? Kamala Persad-Bissessar. Why? Why can't they attack Donald Trump and his administration? Why can't they launch an attack at the boats that the United States have outside? Why can't they do that? You see what the media will continue saying that, oh, it's Kamala, and it's Kamala, and it's Kamala, and it's Kamala's fault. And they would carry out ridiculous headlines. Maduro blames Kamala. And it's Kamala's fault. That's what I printed in Venezuela. How the hell it could be Kamala's fault? Is Kamala attacking the drug trade on the sea? No. It is the U.S. warships that are attacking the drugs on the sea. But we have our opposition, which is the PNM. Who put them the opposition? The citizens of Trinidad and Tobago put them there. That is why they are there. So I want to ask the media of Trinidad and Tobago, is Kamala attacking the drug ships? Who is Maduro attacking? Maduro is attacking Kamala, saying we are in line with the US. Let me tell you something. We are people in this country where crime, criminality illegal firearm, cocaine, marijuana, human trafficking has overcome the country. And because of the fact that Donald Trump stood up and said he's going to send warships outside to cripple the drug trade, because why? Drugs are coming into his country and it's putting his people at risk. So he has the power to send the ships down in the international waters. Maduro cannot blame Donald Trump, but he wants to blame Kamala. You ever see anyone on a Coast Guard boat shoot down a vessel outside? You see, we as a people, the one who's supposed to be spreading the correct news, want to twist the news. But sadly, if I have to die telling the truth, I will die telling the truth. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come, we have a call. Call good night.
Hi, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead, you're live, my dear.
Yes, what really happened, they failed to realize the fact that they will not be coming back in government anymore. Because you know why? We have a woman, an incredible woman running the country, and she knows what she's doing. She pretty much knows what she's doing.
Correct.
So they can't face the fact on that. Thank you very much. But she will stay on and live on to run this country for the people and the welfare of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you, my dear. So viewers, we'll be right back after this break.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, sometimes we forget. We forget. Yes, we understand that the United States is targeting drug ships on international waters. And I want you to understand something. All the bombing that took place, none of the bombing occurred in Trinidad and Tobago waters. Understand this. This is what I want you all to understand. Now, the Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, he reported what he knows. Wayne Sturge reported Trinidad on what he knows. So if you go to listen to Marvin, I want you all to understand something. Marvin is the same individual who told you all to carry out a lecture one time for the month and eat macaroni pie. One time for the month, and eat macaroni pie, while he got a 40% increase and eating cheesecake. He is eating cheesecake while telling you to give your children macaroni pie. That is the man who put in power. I want you to understand that. Let me tell you something. Maduro could jump high, he could jump low. He cannot go after Donald Trump. You know why? You know why? It is the United States that sanctioned Donald Trump, Maduro. The United States. But we have some ministers, past ministers, and Marvin he's fully aware that Stuart Young and Dr. Keith Rowley were doing business with a sanctioned country. Let me tell you something. Thank God they're not in power anymore. Because if that gas deal did go through, let me tell you something. We would have get sanctioned. And we would end up like Africa in the desert. We would have been worse than Guyana, who is the Dubai of the Caribbean presently. Thanks to who? Thanks to who? So switching gears, Commissioner of Police Alistair Grovero has announced a new initiative aimed at improving the firearm license process. The top cop Grovero said the TTPS has launched a digital firearm user's license FUL application system, which is currently in the testing phase with 1,000 applicants. Listen to Grovero.
Also would like to speak to you all about the recent launch of the TTPS Digital FUL Application Forum. All right. It is currently in its testing stage, and we utilized 1,000 applicants. Recently, the Corporate Communications Department have put out a ad in the daily newspapers with the file numbers of the persons to communicate with the firearms permit unit in order to facilitate the process.
So trying to make a presently, they are fine-tuning the system before they fully roll it out to the public. The initiative is to expect it to streamline the application process to make it easier for firearm owners to interact with the TTPS. Listen to this.
Now this is what I should call it, a testing stage, and we would look and we would monitor and see how it goes before we can make particular tweaks to it. But this is taking it into a different direction. Digitizing the application of FUL files will indeed be of great benefit, not only to the TTPS, but for the members of the public.
Caller, good night. Hello? I guess we lost that. Switching gears, staying on the commissioner, Alistair Grovero has dismissed speculation that the ongoing state of emergency is being used as a crime-fighting tool. However, he attributed sharp decline in several categories of crime, including homicide, kidnapping, and 2, continued detention of people currently in custody. Speaking during a TTPS media briefing yesterday, the top cop also addressed last Friday's public unease and panic fueled by rumors of impending strike by the US on Venezuela, which led both the soldiers and police officers being called to immediate duty. Guevara.
Similarly to the first time when the SOE was called on July the 18th and leave was restricted, likewise, when the extension was granted, I took a decision to also restrict leave so that the police can properly prepare for their operational mandate during the extended period. There was no nefarious intent whatsoever involved in that.
Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Good night, good night. Go right ahead, you're live.
Yeah, I'm not hearing you loud and clear. Hello?
Go right ahead.
Right, Mr. Saeed, I'm calling from California.
Welcome.
Right, and I want to know that they have to change your name and put you Maha Saeed now. And let the parents know that you is Maha Saeed now.
Oh, thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Right.
So, viewers, regarding the SOE, the commissioner said a total of 156 preventative detention order had been ordered and handed to the TTPS since the SOE began, with 98 executed and 58 still outstanding. Addressing questions to how many people held under detention order have been charged, the commissioner explained what the PDOS were. Listen to this.
Preventative detention order is specifically, as it says, a preventative detention order. It is an order to prevent someone from doing something that is inimical to public safety. It doesn't mean that they committed a crime. It means that there was sufficient evidence placed before the minister to grant a preventative order to place this person in detention for the purpose of preventing them from doing something.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this, eh? I have to say this before I show this video. Deputy Commissioner of Police of Operation Suzette Martin said, 23 people so have been charged under the SOE regulation, with general arrest standing at 3,538, of which 2,136 people have been charged. Now, the commissioner, he added that the detention order have had an impact on crime with a 42% decrease in homicide. Listen to the commissioner.
And I have heard it being bandied about in the public that the police using the SOE as a crime fighting tool. If the government had called a state of emergency and the police sat down and did nothing, what do you think will happen? We have 85 or 86 persons currently under PDOs. Here what happened to the crime statistics in Trinidad? With just 85 persons being taken out of the system and placed safely aside. We have a 42% decrease in homicides. You have a 19% decrease in violent crimes, a 11% decrease in other SRCs, 28% in larceny motor vehicles. Woundings and shootings down from 1,508 last year to 980 this year. Sexual offenses down, kidnappings down, robberies down, breaking offenses down, general larcenies down. That's 85 people. Well, what if we had catch the whole 156 we wanted? What do you think would happen to the crime statistics?
So, viewers, the Commissioner of Police has confirmed that recent U.S. military strike have led to a noticeable shortage of illegal drugs across the country. The top cop stated that intelligence source indicated that the strike targeted narco-terrorists. Maritime operations have significantly disrupted the flow of illegal narcotics to Trinidad and Tobago. Guevara.
Yes, what the TTPS can confirm to you is that an assessment done from the intelligence agencies, including the Strategic Services Agency, as well as the Special Branch and the Special Investigations Unit of the TTPS, confirmed that as a result of the recent military strikes, which were targeting the narco-terrorist maritime operations, they've had a measurable impact on the flow of illegal narcotics into Trinidad. The intelligence indicates that there is a current shortage of the illicit drugs, particularly from those trafficked from Venezuela and Colombia. And the disruption has directly affected the availability of the narcotics in Trinidad and Tobago, which, as you know in business terms, when there is a shortage in supply, you know what goes up. So we've detected that there has been a marked increase in the price of illegal narcotics on the streets.
Now viewers, Gravel also acknowledged that criminal elements attempt to exploit alternative routes in response, but assured that the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is actively addressing such development. So which means TTPS is aware of individuals belonging to the drug ring in Trinidad and Tobago are trying different routes, different plans, different strategies to bring drugs into the country. But hear what he has to say.
Question. Since we cut off the inflow of drugs and we are now squeezing the ones that happen to get through, because it's just 15 minutes from Venezuela to Trinidad, so they will get through with one or two, but we're squeezing them as well. You know, Trini's real ingenious. What do you think the first thing they want to do? They go in and plant weed, and we already treat them with that. Have men looking for particular breed of seeds from abroad to bring in. We treat them with that already. The ACP TSIU, well, the CIB, Mr. Tiwari, is already treating with marijuana eradication in all those different areas. So we're treating with that aspect of it.
The commissioner also noted that millions of dollars worth in illegal drugs were also seized after the strikes. Look at this.
On the 12th of September, the TTPS, in coordination with the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, we seized 268 kilograms of Colombian creepy marijuana, valued at $29 million plus. On the 30th of September, we executed a targeted operation in Faizabad, and we seized 201 kilograms of Colombian creepy marijuana.
So now viewers, I tell you, somebody had to do it, you know. Somebody had to do it, you know. Somebody had to help Trinidad, because we were going down the drain. Imagine you in your own house, you're sleeping with a fear that somebody's going to break into your house. You buy a little car, you work hard, you buy a little car, you park it in front of your house, or you're going down the road, or you park it in a car park, somebody stick you up and take your car. You're walking down the road with your nice gold chain, somebody snatching it. Imagine that. It was ridiculous. So somebody had to do something about it. We couldn't depend on Fitzgerald Hines, you know. In the parliament, he's sleeping. Working for Trinidad and Tobago, he's sleeping. And I guess out of politics now, he's still sleeping. But I guess Marvin pick up his mantle now. But I'll tell you something, everything that Marvin bring out to the public, watch how I'll answer him back. You know why? When you were there, you did absolutely nothing. So don't come now and say you have ideas to fix this, and ideas to fix that, and ideas to fix the next. Penelope is our next one. Penelope was there for 9 long years. All of a sudden, she knows to do everything. We hardly hearing him Bert. We hardly hearing Foreign Affairs Minister Amy Brown, foreign. We hardly hearing Stuart Young. But nevertheless, I will be waiting to address the situations that they will be coming with. real talk, you know. This is real talk, you know. Number one with current affairs, you know. So there's some good news for Jamaica now, viewers. We're switching to a little good news now. President of the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association, TTMA, Dale Paris, has confirmed that the TTMA mobilized a total of $8 million in relief efforts to Jamaica, including goods and cash donation. He stated that the initiative executed in partnership with the Office of the Prime Minister was launched within 24 hours of the hurricane making landfall in Jamaica. Look at this, Trinidad and Tobago.
Since then, we have collected another $3 million to date, total $8 million from our manufacturers. On behalf of this partnership between the TTMA and government, I personally want to extend a heartfelt thanks to all of our members who contributed and to those who have pledged continued support in our relief efforts as our Prime Minister has requested of TTMA assistance for our neighbors in Haiti who were also extensively affected.
The TTMA also came in for a high praise from Ministry of Trade, Investment and Tourism, Satyakama Maharaj, for the timely initiative.
Only a few days ago, we were able to come together to show our solidarity and support for our Caribbean neighbors. Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean are key to our success, and with our support and generosity, they will be back on their feet again.
So if you were just to inform you, finance is my thing, right? So I keep up with finance worldwide. The financial sector in Jamaica is trying its best to come on stream as fast as possible, so individuals in Guyana who have savings in their account would be able to access savings so they can start buying whatever material or whatever food supply or whatever supplies that they need in order for life to start back with them. So I, from a financial point of view, owning Real Talk Financing, being the president of Real Talk Credit Union, I do want to take this time to wish them a speedy recovery in getting their financial system up and running. So even though Tobago has gotten all these goodies, sometimes they are good news and sometimes they are bad news. But tonight, we're going to stick up in it right here until another live. Viewers, it's my time to say good night. Until then, be safe.